Well, thank you for being with us on this edition of Nightique. Well, as we head into the weekend, we've got a musical performer that is going to head us into the weekend, Mr. Bobby Rush. And he's going to actually play some songs for us. Bobby Rush is a living legend, living among us, and just returned from a stint on Jimmy Kimmel Live, and also from London, where a new film that he's in that documents some of the music that he plays has been released, and he was at the premiere for that. So I'm really happy that we've got Bobby Rush on the program tonight, and he's going to play some songs for us, and we're going to talk about his career. You might not know that Mr. Bobby Rush is originally from Louisiana, and but he's been in Mississippi a long time, and I guess you could probably say he's a Mississippi resident at this point. But if you're from Louisiana, then again, you might always have Louisiana roots. So we'll find out about his career and his life in Louisiana before he came to Mississippi, all of that. Stay tuned. We've got Bobby Rush with us on this edition of Nightique. We'll be right back after these messages.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Well, welcome back to Nightique. Mr. Bobby Rush with us. Bobby, thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me here, man. I'm glad to be here.
I'm so glad that you're here.
Well, see, and a man get my age, you're glad to be anywhere.
Well, all right, so you are 80 years old.
80 years old, and I've been doing what I'm doing now for 60 years, and 337 records. And of course now, I can't sing them all, because after you get so many, you don't remember them all of them, you know. But you don't have to anyway. Someone asked me the other night, so what record you like the best? The one that sold the most. I get more gigs.
Well,
you know?
Now you go back to the rock and roll days, all the way to the history of rhythm and blues.
When I'm from Louisiana. Born in Louisiana. 1947, I moved to Pine Bluff, Arkansas with my father, who was a pastor, minister at a church. In the early 50s, I moved to Chicago, started recording for Chess back in the early 50s. And here I am, still doing what I do, although I have 3 or 4 states on my brain. What I mean about that, I got the Louisiana roots, I got Chicago bass, I got the Louisiana in me, now living in Mississippi. When you put all of them together, you get a big soup of Bobby Rush. You stir it up, you got the Bobby Rush soup, you know? And so I'm a little that, and a little what have you.
So when you were growing up, you lived in Houma, Louisiana.
Houma, Louisiana. I've been Houma, Haynesville, whatever you want, out in the country. You know, I really was 6 or 8 miles out in the country. Houma and Haynesville, I'm in the country, man.
So that's what we call Cajun folks now in that country, right?
Yeah, man.
I mean, so you know what gumbo is, right?
Yep. Do I know what gumbo is? You know, with the alligator tail and all bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know. You know what they call us. We'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, Cajun is one way to put it. But okay, so your father was a preacher.
My father was a pastor of a church and was a preacher, and he was a great guy. He was my friend. You know, see, coming from where I'm coming from, most of the guys talk about in my day and time that if you had a preacher in the house, a religious person in the house, it was the devil music, you know, or something you shouldn't do. But my daddy, being a preacher, never told me to sing the blues, but he never told me not to. I remember my cousin gave me a guitar, and he gave me a guitar, and I hid it from my dad up in a loft. At least I thought I hid it. 2 or 3 weeks later, my dad said, he called me Junior, so I'm a junior. He said, Junior. I said, yes, sir. He said, bring that guitar here, boy, that you got hid in the loft. Oh, I got God, how he know I got a guitar here? You know, your dad know everything, your mama know everything. I brought it to him, and he tuned it up. I didn't know he could play. He tuned it up, and he said, see that harp that I bought you, the little harmonica? He said, bring it here. He played a note on that. I said, wow. He said, he tuned the guitar. He said, let me play something I played for a little girl when I was a little older than you. But I thought it gonna be about my mama. I wanted to hear. I said, yes, yes. I was asleep up in the front of his leg. He had his back to my mother. My mother was in the kitchen cooking. He said, I'm gonna play this song I used to play. And he said, did he tune it up? There was a pecan tree in the backyard, and one pecan tree was a big pecan, and one was small. We called it a chinky pan. He's strong, and he said, me, my gal. First of all, I thought my daddy gonna sing about, you know, swing low, sweet chariot, what have you. He said, me, my gal went to chinky pan hunting. She fell down, and I saw something. I said, Daddy. I said, sing it again. What I wanted him to do is sing the other verse, because I know if she fell down, the next verse he should tell me what he saw.
Did he?
No.
He didn't
said,
go?
he said, me and my gal went to check it in, hun. And my mother said, me don't sing that kind of song to that boy. But he kept on playing, had his hat down across his face and just come out the field. He said, me and my gal went to check it in, hun. I said, Daddy, how big was she? He said, son, she was fat, real big old fat woman. And I wanted to say, I said, what she had on? He said, nothing but a dress. Now in my little mind, fat lady falling down, nothing on but a dress. Man, my head was, wow, I could see. I could visualize. I said, sing it again. He said, me and my gal went to Jacob hunting. By that time, my mother was coming again. I said, Daddy, here come mama. He said, me and my gal went to Jacob hunting. She fell down, and I kept running. So I don't know what the song would have been. My mother hadn't showed up.
Well, that might have been your first inspiration.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he put everything in me that I have in me, because he never told me to sing the blues, but he never said not to sing the blues. And that Chinky Pen hunting, when she fell down, the girl was fat. I've been singing about fat ladies ever since. Man.
So, at what point, how old were you when you realized that you were going to make a life of music?
When I was about 6 or 7.
You knew?
I mean, I knew it from the beginning. I knew this all I wanted to do. I used to be chopping cotton, picking cotton in the fields, crepes and what have you, and I would be picking, and all of a sudden I'm looking up in the sky, in the hot sun. My mother said, hey boy, go to work. And I said, I forget about what I'm doing, because I could see myself. You know, I just take myself into a plane like in this cloud. I could see myself grown with mustache when I was little, on the stage, playing with B.B. King and the guys like that.
Do you think,
I could see myself.
You think there's something to the idea of creative visualization where you can almost
Oh, yeah.
project something and then bring it into reality?
Yes.
Do you believe that?
Yes, I believe that, because I used to dream. I had a cotton sack picking cotton, and every night I would dream the cotton sack was a bicycle, and I had a guitar on my bicycle. I didn't even have a guitar. I had a guitar on my bicycle on my way to play for some kids. There wasn't no club. I was going to play for this kid, and every time I got to these kids, it'd be some kind of school or something, you know, and I would start to play them and wake up. I did this, it must have been years and years, about this cotton sack that I was picking cotton, but it would turn into this bicycle. And I always think about that now. It always turned to bicycle, and I look around the back of the bicycle in my dream, and that was a guitar that I was taking to perform to my audience. The audience was a bunch of children, 8 and 10-year-old kids.
You know, in Mississippi, you know, we appreciate the artists, but you know, when you're living close to folks, you maybe sometimes might lose perspective on how the rest of the world looks at it.
That's right.
Tell us about your experiences around the world and the world's appreciation for this indigenous Mississippi music.
It's sad, but it's glad somebody respects and understand it and love it. Because when you're here in Mississippi, when you're born in Mississippi, you can be Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama,
Right.
what have you. People don't seem to take to you like you do in other places. I know the first time when I did Chicken Head, talking about 40-something years ago, I had a #1 record in England, didn't even know it. When I got there, you had 100,000 people waiting on me to get off the plane. And here in Mississippi or what have you, I'm just another guy who played guitar. You know, they didn't respect it, didn't know about it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about it. I tell you what, that's a sad thing to me sometimes. I remember about 8 years ago, I went to do a blues in the school, and a young teenager, well, 18 or 19-year-old lady, a black little girl, black lady, she told me, I don't want to hear about the blues because it remind me of slavery. And it hit me. I said, yeah, it do remind you of slavery, but slavery is something that happened. It's part of history. You need to know about it. You need to know about what happened in history. I'm not happy about everything happened, but history is history.
Right.
Pretty soon you won't know who's what if you don't keep up with the history. So many things been taken out of school, and so many things have been intentionally taken away where people don't know A from B about what they should know about the history, about themselves, about the people who did it. Same thing in music.
You recently were in London. Tell us about that.
Yeah, speaking about carrying a torch on, we just did a movie. I was in a movie that was done out of Memphis and all parts of Tennessee and other places. Myself, Snoop Dogg, Al Green, Bobby Bland, Otis Clay, Pee Wee. You got Frazier Boy was with me. You got Al Capone, the young rapper Al Capone, and you got Peanut, and you got many other artists in that. We did this movie, where the documentary was supposed to be in. Now they want to put it in the movie because it's so good and so long. We went to England and displayed it. For the first time, I was told in 21 years, we had a standing ovation. We were getting this all across the country.
And what was the response to the folks in London?
It's overwhelmed because they want to hear the story. It's about what I have done, what BB have done, what the older guy have done. Now the young rappers and the young people are linking into it and patching the torch onto them. They seem to take it farther. I was talking to Snoop Dogg and a few other young guys on the set. They said, man, my mama played your records in my house when I was a little kid. That was really fascinating to me, because knowing the guys knew about me. I didn't know they knew about me. Some old guy thinking these young guys don't even know about it, but we are wrong. These young guys know about what I've done, what BB King did, and what he's doing, what I did, and what I'm doing. They know about it, and they stealing licks. When they're stealing, they taking licks and doing whatever they do. Only thing bothered me about that, the sample. The sample don't bother me as much as they don't run out of things to sample. So somebody got to write some real music to sample, because we don't have nothing to sample from. They don't sample out. Nothing, and nobody create new music now, man.
And you're going to play a couple of songs for us.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that, and okay. It's going to be a nice treat. Thank
well,
you for
we'll weigh a couple of things out and see what happens.
We'll be right back with Bobby Rush after this. Well, we're back with Bobby Rush, and Bobby, what you going to play for us?
Well, since we're from Louisiana, both of us, I guess I could do something that you can relate to from down home way. Kind of alligators kind of a stuff, you know.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Bobby Rush.
Way down in Louisiana, down in Cajun land, folks got something going down there called K-Bar Cook the Tootsie. Dig you on the Scooby-Doo, dig you on the Scooby-Doo, you old pooky-poo you. What I like to do to you. Chop. Get a hip to the consultation of the Boolah way. Golly, golly, Miss Molly, everything is copacetic now. Oh, look at you. Girl, you old pooky-poo, you old pooky-poo, you. Hey, little swamp mama, what I like to do to you. Swamp girl, that is. I get a hip to the consultation of the Boolah way. Hey, pretty mama, the girl done time in the pokey. Your mama's hip, daddy's on a trip. sure looking good, you old poo you. Uh-huh, you poo you. I get a hip to the consultation on the Boulon weed. Now what I'm talking about, if you don't know, talking about a little girl down in New Orleans, eat pork salad, call it turnip green. Bow-legged girl that is. The kind you can sing about yourself. Chicken in the car, and the car won't go. That's the way you spell Chicago. Knife and a fork, and a plate of green. That's the way you spell New Orleans. Hey, little girl, in the tight sweater. Let me tell you right now, girl, you sure looking mellow. Poo you. Poo ain't nothing but a girl. Stand about 5 feet 5. Big hip, big leg. When you look at them, all you can say is, ha 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 ha, gator time. That's Louisiana talk. Creole, that is.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
Okay, Bobby, you were during the break. You were telling me about a blues story.
Yeah, blues stories are always in my head. I'm a blues man. You know, I was talking about Tony Joe White, talking about the Polk Saturday Night, talking about this girl that's bow-legged and knock-kneed and what have you. But I sung a song close to that thing. I call it a bow-legged woman and a knock-kneed man go hand in hand. And I give you 3 guesses who were bow-legged. First 2 don't count. But someone asked me, said, well, Bobby Rush, why do you sing the blues? Is it because your woman leave you? You can have the blues when your woman leave you, but you can also have the blues when they stay too long. Let me tell you about it. Let me do it in a song for you. Have you ever been mistreated by someone you shouldn't have loved? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you shouldn't have loved? Out of all of me and my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. No matter how bad she treated me, I still can't get her loving out of my mouth. No matter how bad she treated me, people, I still can't get her loving out of my mouth. Every time I see a garbage can, I think about her and the garbage man all the time. If I ever get her to come back, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back home, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. When my garbage can't get full, I'm gonna take it and dump it way, way out in the woods. That's the blues for you.
That was very interesting. You never know what will happen in life, do you?
Not when a garbage man pick it up everything but garbage.
Lord,
That's
have mercy.
rough titty.
That is an interesting
That's
perspective on things.
That's a tough titty and can't nothing to suck it but a lion.
That is, wow, that's quite a story. Well, we're going to come back and talk a little bit
We're
more.
going to talk about it.
We're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to take a break and come back with Mr. Bobby Rush.
I'll be glad to come back.
Thank you. It is so great to have you here with us.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Since 1849, Carter Jewelers has been a part of Jackson's rich history. Over 163 years later, we've not only survived, Carter Jewelers has flourished. From generation to generation, we've established a tradition of excellence. Our reputation is built on customer satisfaction, service, and trust. Every piece of jewelry is handpicked, so you know you're getting the best value.
Nobody says I do like we do at Carter Jewelers.
Come see us and be part of our history.
You know, nobody owed me anything.
I'm talking to Bobby Rush. We just heard a couple of great songs, and Bobby, we're really honored to have you with us on the show.
Well, thank you for having me around, man, because it's good to be here. I came at a club the other night. I had my blue jean on, the cap across my head, going to do a sound check. So my driver kept telling me, Bobby Rush, put some clothes on, because people going to be there and somebody may notice you. And I use the word, at my age, you want to be noticed. Just want to be noticed. But I said that in a joking fashion because I'm just a plain old country boy. But when I think about where I could be, where could I could have been, I'm so happy to be who I am now. Because when I look at myself, BB, Fats Domino, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, Buddy Guy a little bit younger, but he's still in this ball field that we're in. Few other guys around, but I'm talking about these mainstream kind of guys, and I'm one of them, man. If you think about the top 5 blues singers in the world, especially talk about the black blues singers, you got to count me in. So I'm a blessed man to be here among the greats, you know.
And the fact that you're healthy and feeling good and still
good.
very active doing stuff at 80, what do you attribute that to?
Blessing. That ain't nothing you can attribute to blessing. Sometimes I think that is something I'm doing, but it ain't nothing I'm doing because I just eat pretty decent. I had a couple of beers in my lifetime. I don't drink. I don't know that's a part of it. But I don't smoke, so I don't get high no form of fashion. That ain't got nothing to do with me feeling good, but I feel better when I say it, you know. So I don't know what it is. I'm just a blessed man to be around. I'm so blessed to be around to do what I do, and even down to your show. You know, I heard about your show coming on. I said, this could be a great thing. Not knowing you want to call me up, and this made me think about being on Jimmy's show a few weeks ago on the night show. And you the night show to me because you here in Mississippi and from Louisiana too, man. You know, I got a thing for you, man. You know.
Oh, likewise.
Okay,
so now the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Tell us about that.
Dan Aykroyd, who's done in the Jane Brown movie, called me up and said, "I'm gonna be in Mississippi, man. Would you come by, just break bread with me, because we are friends." And he had such love for me. He invited me by the set. When I got by the set, one of the producers said, "Well, man, God, Bobby Rush, we need you in a part of this. You were with the Jane Brown." And it was too late for me to get involved then because it's halfway over before they knew about I was involved with Jane Brown, the same age bracket, the whole bit. And I wish I had been. So he said, "Well, I want you to do something for me." And not knowing what he wants, but I'll forever be grateful to what he's done. Jimmy, when he was saying, "I want to go on and do one of Jane Brown's songs," did not knowing what we were going to do, he told me like a day before, said, "Hey, what we going to do?" Texted it to me, and waned it out. Went into no rehearsal, no bit, and just talked about what we going to do. He came out doing it. Did you want a Jane Brown song? So I knew the song anyway, you know, because being with Jane, he knew I knew it, and we just waned it out. And man, it came out so good. He gave me the best prop that any man could ever get. You know, talked about me being the legend and the last of the kind, and he just laid it out. I'll forever in my life remember this man, what he did and said about me.
You notice there are there's a lot of interest in the popular culture now today, more so than maybe
more
ever
than
before,
whatever
about this music, right?
more than ever, especially about the old guys who did it,
Right.
and the ones who still doing it can gets paid for it for once now.
I remember when I was growing up, you know, the first time I experienced James Brown, it was like I was with some black friends,
Yeah.
and then I would never heard it before.
Never heard it, yeah.
And most white people hadn't heard it.
Yeah, yeah,
But when
yeah.
you heard it, it was like all of a sudden,
What
like,
is
history,
that?
boom, what was that?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
But nowadays, it's mainstream.
It's kind of like when I went to England just a couple, 10 days ago, and I took the harp and do what I do with the harp with no music. They said, wow, what is this? Because they were looking for me to come out with the band a whole bit.
Right.
I just want to have a song with the band, took the harmonica and said, y'all just be cool. And they so, wow, where did he come from?
Yeah, it's the real deal.
It's the raw.
It's raw. It's beautiful. I mean, it is blues. I mean, it is.
That's blues, man. I'm a blues man, you know.
I mean,
you know. I hope you love what I've done, and I hope you like what I'm doing, and I certainly like what you're doing, man.
Thank you. I'm honored to have you on.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, like we were talking, all around the world,
Yeah.
they appreciate the music and they love the music, and you know, I hope that I mean, you know, I hope that the rest of our local United States discovers.
If I can say, knowing you as long as I've known you, I thank you for what you have done, for what you're doing, what you plan to do, because you mean well about the music and about the people who do it. And you're a music man yourself. You've been in this long time. You can tell it's in your heart and soul.
I love it. Yeah, I mean,
you know,
if
you ain't just a weather man. You're a music man too.
It's a beautiful, thing. So yeah, and thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you.
And I hope to have you on again soon.
We'll be back. We'll be back. Just show you here. I'm coming back.
And good luck with everything.
Well, thank you very much.
It seems
Same
like maybe
to you.
the whole world is now rediscovering.
Yeah,
these things
rediscovering
that-
old Bobby Rush
Bobby Rush.
and the things that I do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you
very
for
much.
having me on.
Bobby Rush, and we'll see you next time on Nightique.